Have you ever sat down to work and felt instantly scattered? Not distracted in a casual way, but wired, restless, unable to settle into the task in front of you. You tell yourself to focus, you try to push through it, and the harder you try, the worse it gets. If that sounds familiar, this video is going to help, not by giving you another productivity trick, but by showing you how to reset your brain in about 60 seconds. Because here's the truth most productivity advice ignores. You cannot think your way out of stress, and when your nervous system is activated, focus isn't a skill problem, it's a physiological problem. Let me start with something important. When focus disappears, most people assume something has gone wrong mentally. They think, I'm unmotivated, I'm procrastinating, I need discipline. But very often what's actually happening is that your nervous system is in a mild stress response, not panic, not full anxiety, just enough activation to shut down clarity. This is why you can want to work and still feel unable to start. Your brain is not refusing to cooperate, it's protecting you. This was a huge realization for me. Early on when I was building my first business, I'd sit down with good intentions, plenty of time, a very clear task list, and within minutes my mind would feel noisy. I'd reread the same sentence, open tabs, second guess myself, and I thought I had a focus problem. In reality, I had a regulation problem. The more pressure I put on myself, the worse it got. Deadlines, expectations, internal shoulds. My nervous system was stuck in a low-level fight or flight state, and no amount of planning was going to fix that. This is where the 5-5-5 reset breath comes in. It's one of the simplest tools in the momentum reset method, and it's also one of the most powerful. Because it doesn't try to force focus, it creates the conditions where focus becomes possible again. Let's talk briefly about what's happening in your brain. When you feel overwhelmed or pressured, your sympathetic nervous system activates. That's the part responsible for fight, flight, freeze. In that state, your brain prioritizes survival, not thinking. Executive function drops, planning gets harder, decision making slows, creativity disappears, which is why just focus never works. The solution isn't to push harder, the solution is to signal safety. And the fastest way to do that is through your breath. Breathing is one of the only systems in your body that you can control voluntarily and that directly influences your nervous system. Slow, controlled breathing activates the parasympathetic response. That's the rest and regulate system. And once that system comes online, your brain can think again. The 5-5-5 reset breath is designed for exactly this. It's not meditation, it's not mindfulness, it's not about relaxing deeply. It's a micro reset, something you can use between tasks, when you feel stuck, when focus slips, when overwhelm creeps in. Here's how it works. You inhale through your nose for 5 seconds. You hold that breath for 5 seconds. Then you exhale slowly through your mouth for 5 seconds. That's one cycle. You repeat that 5 times. That's it. Now, let me explain why this works. The slow inhale brings oxygen in. The brief hold stabilizes the breath. The long exhale is the key. Longer exhales activate the vagus nerve, which tells your nervous system you're safe. When that signal is received, your body downshifts. Heart rate lowers, muscle tension drops, mental noise softens. This isn't theory, it's well established in neuroscience and physiology. Controlled breathing is used by pilots, by surgeons, elite athletes, by emergency responders, not to relax, but to regain clarity under pressure. This is why I call the 5-5-5 breath a focus reset, not a calming exercise. You're not trying to feel blissful, you're trying to feel available to work again. Here's how this changed things for me. I stopped trying to power through moments of resistance. When I felt scattered or frozen, I didn't open another app. I didn't scroll, I paused. I did 5 rounds of the 5-5-5 breath, and something subtle but consistent happened. The urgency faded, the mental noise lowered, the task in front of me felt less threatening. Not exciting, just doable. This is where most people go wrong. They wait until they're overwhelmed and then try to fix it. The 5-5-5 breath works best as a preventative micro break. You use it before starting, or between tasks, or after finishing something mentally heavy, not just when you're already stuck. This is why it's part of the momentum reset method. Momentum isn't about intensity, it's about rhythm, and rhythm requires regulation. Let's connect this to the bigger picture. The overwhelm audit clears mental load. Micro missions make tasks approachable. Dopamine anchors retrain motivation. Task reframing removes emotional pressure. But none of those work well if your nervous system is constantly activated. The 5-5-5 reset breath is what brings your system back online. I want to walk you through it now. If you're watching this somewhere safe, you can do it with me. If not, just listen. Inhale slowly through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale slowly through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. We normally repeat that 5 times. Even 1 round can start the reset. Most people are surprised by how quickly something shifts. Not dramatic, just quieter. And quiet is where focus lives. Here's an important mindset shift. This breath is not a reward, it's not something you earn, it's a reset you're allowed to take. Using it doesn't mean you're failing at focus, it means you understand how your brain works. I wish I'd known this earlier. So much of my early struggle came from misinterpreting stress as weakness. I thought needing a break meant I wasn't cut out for the work. In reality, I just didn't know how to regulate. Once I learned that, everything softened. If you want to use this effectively, here's how I recommend integrating it. Tie it to transitions. So before starting a work session, after finishing a task, when switching contexts, it becomes a signal. Now we reset. That consistency, that matters. This is also why the 5-5-5 breath pairs so well with micro missions. Breathe. Define one small step. Start. That sequence alone has unlocked countless stuck moments. If you're someone who feels constantly on, constantly tense, constantly mentally busy, this isn't because you're broken. It's because your nervous system hasn't been given permission to downshift. The 5-5-5 reset breath gives it that permission. If you want a structured way to combine this with the other tools I've mentioned, clarity, micro actions, motivation and momentum, the full framework lives inside the momentum reset method linked in the description. And even if you never explore that, I hope you do, but even if you don't, take this with you. Focus doesn't return through force, it returns through safety, and sometimes 60 seconds is all it takes. If this video helped at all, I would love it if you would subscribe for more calm, practical tools for overcoming procrastination and building momentum without burnout. And I'd love to know, let me know in the comments, when do you notice your focus slipping the most?